To unpack some of the reservations towards the anti-party hopping law, we speak to constitutional lawyer Sin Yew.
The problem with anti-party hopping laws as proposed by the government is that it doesn't give any room for other types of scenarios where MPs have acted in the best interest of their constituency, what they felt was in line with the mandate that was given to them by their constituents, and it punishes them because they did not toe the party line. And that's very dangerous because a lot of MPs, a lot of ADUNs, they become fearful. They become fearful of the fact that if they dissent from the party line, they don't follow the party whip, they might end up losing their seat and they have to go for re-election again. And obviously that is a scenario where I think most MPs and ADUN would, logically would want to try to avoid. So that's the problem with the anti-party hopping law that's proposed by the government, and it's also perhaps most problematic in the sense that it doesn't deal with perhaps the biggest hop of it all, when Bersatu as a party decides to hop from the ruling coalition to the opposition to form a new government. So that's in those scenarios, the anti-party hopping law as proposed by the government, it is simply unsatisfactory. It is too wide, and it is very damaging to representative democracy.
Now, according to Sin Yew, the anti-party hopping law would in fact give full control to political parties and its top leadership over party members. He suggests for recall petitions instead, which returns the mandate back to the people to decide the fate of an elected representative.
Had the proposed amendment been passed, it actually gives tremendous powers to political parties. Political parties can actually control all of their MPs and ADUNs, and it would allow them to ensure that all their MPs and ADUNs toe party lines, and that's very problematic because, like what I mentioned earlier, you don't really have this essence of representative democracy anymore, because if everything goes party lines, then what about problems that are unique to a particular constituency? That might not be heard, for example. So political parties, they obviously want that so that they have more power, and political parties' elections would arguably be more important than the national election, because the true powers behind the MPs and ADUNs are the political parties and their leaders.
He stressed that recall elections is the best way to ensure MPs and ADUNs do not change parties for selfish reasons.
The best way is when there is, or when we say that there is, or claim that there is a betrayal of the mandate of the people, go back to the people, ask them if they feel that their MPs should be replaced. And that is why we need to introduce recall petitions. And what recall petitions does is that it allows those who have elected the MP or the ADUN to have a say in whether or not they want their MPs or their ADUN to be replaced. And how it would normally work is that there is a threshold number. It can be 10%, 20%, which would trigger a recall election. So once about that threshold number of people in that constituency says that I want my MP or I want my ADUN to be replaced, then the MP and ADUN will be replaced. He or she would have to stand election again, and then he or she would have to seek a fresh mandate. And if they don't, then you get a new MP and new ADUN.